Hey fellow backyard boyers, Nick here. Today I went to a garage sale, and I usually like going to garage sales and yard sales because you never know what people are trying to get rid of, and sometimes you'll find really neat stuff. And I like looking for things that I can take apart or use for other things. So today I managed to get this for $2. Now this is a fur coat, and I'm going to be stripping this and using the fur for various things. So today I wanted to kind of do a brief video kind of showing you guys how to identify whether a coat or other article of clothing like this is actually made of real fur, and then I'm just going to kind of show you as I strip it apart. So the first thing I did when I saw this coat was I kind of looked around, find a spot that's not really noticeable, an area of wear. You can see right here on the shoulder it's a little worn. And if you pull the hair apart and you look down in there into the base of the hair, it should look kind of leathery. Usually if it's fur, or faux fur, or artificial fur, fake fur, it's usually made almost like a carpet, where it'll have little tufts of artificial hair coming out of a fiber, basically a weave. Another thing you could do is very lightly, if you pull on the hair a little bit, not so much that you damage it, you should see a little bit of that. That is leather, that is skin, that is animal hide. So that's one way to tell. Another way to tell too is to look on the inside, and you just kind of want to go, sometimes these will have holes in the linings. Now this is a lower quality fur coat. It's genuine fur, but it's a cheaper coat, so it only has a single lining. So if you could see inside here, there's a hole in the lining. Now normally you could just peek in there and take a look, but so you guys can see on the camera, I'm just going to rip the lining open a little bit. You can see it's obviously skin. It's got that look of leather. You can see the grain in the skin. If this were faux or fake fur, this would look like a piece of cloth. It would have a definite cloth-like pattern, and basically they're put together like rugs, or if you've ever seen a stuffed animal, you take it inside out for some reason, then that's what it would look like if it were fake fur. Now this, judging on how it looks, and you can see this main panel is pretty large. It's probably sheepskin. This is probably sheepskin that's been chemically treated, heat treated, and dyed to get this nice color. So with this, it's really simple. Basically all you want to do is just strip off the lining, and we'll see what we have to work with. Another thing too, and I didn't notice this until after I had bought it, I should have checked a little better, but I wasn't expecting it to have a label. Inside it had this. This is the Fur Label Authority. It's a label that basically is required by law for newer fur coats, that if it's genuine fur it will have that, and it has a number in it and everything, like an identification number, so you know that it's genuine fur and you're not paying for artificial fur. But that's something else to look for. So right now I'm just going to strip the lining. If you want to preserve the lining, then you want to be a little more careful. I'm just taking the lining off because I don't really care for it. Okay, so I've taken all the lining off. Here's the lining. And here is the coat without the lining. You can see what it is it's basically different sections and pieces of hide that are all stitched together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart so I have individual panels to work with for lining quivers or making different things. Because this is a really nice material. This will do really well for a lot of different applications. Basically what I like doing, let's see, we'll start taking apart one of these main panels. So what I like to do is, if you can see, this is pretty much a whip stitch running down here. Basically the two sides were sewn together like this, sort of pieced together like that. You can't really see the seam. So if you wanted to, if you needed a big chunk, and if you needed to, you could use this whole section. But I like taking it apart because I'll find uses for these. So what I'll do is I'll take a knife and I'll go really gently with the tip of the knife, really gently, just run it along the seam. There are other ways to do this, not the safest way in the world. Just be really careful. If you have something that'll rip seams, that's even better. But no, this is how I do it. It's really simple. Just run along and you're just cutting the thread. You're not trying to cut the leather. So you can see my two separate pieces coming apart. So I'm just going to keep doing this. Another thing you can do that I do sometimes is actually sort of brush it with your knife at an angle, and it'll weaken the threads. You could do this if it's not too important that your edges be preserved really nice. It's a little quicker. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take all the panels apart, and I'll show you what this thing looks like once the panels are all separated. Alright, so this small animal I'm holding in my arms was the fur coat. So I got all sorts of different sized panels, ranging from small stuff like this and like this, all the way up to, I mean, this thing. This is the largest single piece I got out of it. But it's nice. I can use it if I wanted to for lining quivers. I could actually make a quiver out of this. And it would look nice first side out or first side in. It's really nice. I've got all these different pieces I can work with. I mean, one coat like this, I could possibly use it for about 100 different projects. All the way from large stuff, I'd use this, you know, as trimming or fur lining for smaller things. You can also use this. This stuff has usually been waterproof. You could use this in lieu of beaver skin for doing like string silencers and things like that. And it's just a really nice material to work with. You can do just about anything with it. And I really like finding older things that I can recycle. Like, I'm always on the lookout for, you know, leather items and things like that too, so that I can sort of give it a new life and use it again. But here it is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and maybe we'll do something with this sometime. So, alright, bye.